What up? Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Fence Up Princess, SoundCloud, SoundClicks, your boy Tone 202. And if I'm talking a little loud, it's because somebody said they couldn't hear me on one of my last videos. They had to turn the sound up. Now, it's a sad day for the Steelers because one of their defensive players, Shazier, got hit with an injury that nobody likes to see. And he basically went in with a helmet to body hit on the offensive player, and you can see it here. His whole head went into this individual's body, and this is the result. Bam, boom, he turned around and grabs his back. Okay, for those of you who never played football before, and or for those of you who've never caught this injury before, for one, this injury can go from being what we call a burner. It goes down your neck, and it goes down your neck, and it just pretty much follows your nervous system. It's basically you stun your nervous system. Now, I don't know if any of you knew about the young man from Alabama who did this same thing, and when he did it, he was permanently injured. He was playing for Alabama in college, and basically he was going down to hit someone who on the receiving team. It was either a punt or a kickoff or something like that. But he ran smack headlong into this guy. And when he did that, it permanently took him out of the game. And I don't even think he can walk today. I could be wrong. But this is a very, 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 very serious injury. And it will change your life even if you get up from it. And boom. See, okay, so look at the impact here. Watch the impact of this hit. Bam! His whole body is still going forward, but his head stopped. And that's where the injury comes in. The back, that's where you catch what we call a burner. The whole head is completely stopped by the force of this person. I mean, I don't mean to sound like a scientist or anything like that, but there are some people who watches my channel who has never played football and or never caught this injury. I've caught this injury a couple times. And one time I caught it by hitting Brian Chismar. If you don't know who he is, he played for Penn State, but he also went to my high school. And he was 2 grades ahead of me, and I lined up right in front of him, pretty much thinking, what's the big deal with this guy? And as soon as he came off the line, he cracked me and he stunned me so bad, I just stood there with my head ringing. So I never lined up against Brian Chismar again. There's a reason why he went to Penn State and was a successful player. Okay, so I have a couple friends who played big-time college ball. Another friend of mine was Jeff Brantley. You don't know who he is. He played for not Washington, but Western. Western, I forgot the name of the school. But nonetheless, I think they're in the Big Ten. And he's a strong dude. So these guys are strong. So imagine if you're professional. I mean, look at this guy's legs. He's no joke. But nonetheless, if you want to see the hit again, here we go. Boom. See how his whole body is going forward, but his neck is stopped? That's where the injury comes in. And of course, it makes a difference of how fast you're going, because they used to call me Crazy Pal, because I would run down and hit somebody head on as hard as I could. Now, I caught a few burners in my time doing this, but lucky for me, you know, I was still in high school, even though high school players get hurt all the time. In some of my games, some of our high school players got hurt. One guy a broken leg, another guy a broken collarbone. This is in high school. But I was fortunate enough not to get this injury. I'm saying all this to say, for those of you who are praying for this man, please pray for him. but you don't know how bad it is because it's a nerve injury. And nerve injuries, we all know they can pretty much paralyze you from the neck down, and or you can be temporarily paralyzed. Now, I'm saying this because I went to an Ohio State football game and they played against Penn State. It was some years ago. And I saw a defensive player put a hit on a young man, and when he did, it paralyzed him from the neck down. But nonetheless, the next year he was able to get up and walk. Well, he was up and fully functioning, although he wasn't playing. So, like I said, these injuries, they're heavy. They're heavy. Whenever you get hit with one, and whenever you get hit with this injury, and you cause it to yourself, or you see somebody get hit with it, it changes their whole career. Like, it changed the way I hit. I stopped hitting with my head down so much. You can even catch a burner by getting a shoulder hit. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, this is what the league is talking about. These are one of the injuries the league is talking about. And another thing about this hit is he can't, being that it was helmet to body, a lot of the injury came at how fast this defender was moving. And I mean, this offensive player was moving when he hit him. Now, mind you, I forget who this is, I'm sorry, but he didn't know this defender was here. So when you don't know somebody is behind you and coming up at full speed, it makes the impact on both players even worse. Because if he would have known, his body would have immediately told him to slow down and shift and brace for impact. But when you don't know, your body is still moving at full speed. So even though this guy had control of pretty much where he was going to hit him, this guy had no idea. And that makes the injury even worse because one person is not slowing down and the other person is still going full speed. Now, this is one of the worst burners I ever seen. And I'm not going to say he's paralyzed from the waist down at all, but they did take him out on a stretcher. The reason why I'm not going to say he's paralyzed because he was able to reach and turn around and he's still moving. So, believe it or not, that is a good sign that he's still moving. And you can tell that he still has movement in his body here. Even though this gurney that they put him on, look at specifically how he's on it and how they have his body wrapped up here. They think he has a spinal injury. But, okay, there is no but. They think he has a spinal injury. I'm going to say I don't think he's paralyzed from the waist down or from the neck down. What I do think happened to him, without getting all scientifically and medically, yada, 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 we all know that, you have your bones and then you have your cartilage and you have your spinal column, so on and so forth. What I think he did, for one, I think it's a permanent injury. That's for one. He'll always have, because the spine is hard to heal. It is. I know because I have spinal injuries right now. I have spinosis. Okay? So I'm telling you now, it's a hard thing to heal. It just doesn't heal as fast as everything else. For one, I think the cartilage from the hit, from the impact, pretty much he's going to have some bulging disc, and they're going to be very painful for the rest of his life. You can get therapy on bulging discs. For those of you who know anything about it, do a lot of work with your back. This is his best friend, and he was crying because that's his dude. But you can go and get some therapy on bulging disc. But here's the thing about if you have bulging discs, if one of them pops, that's it for you. You're going to have back surgery. I think his muscles in his back, also in his lower back, they heal, but it takes a long time because there's so many deep muscles. There's superficial, then there's deep muscles in the back that just take a hard time to heal. You have to you have to get a lot of circulation in them, and that's why it takes harder time for them to heal because of blood circulation. So I just wanted to talk about this injury and what I thought about it, simply because I've had injuries like this, but not as severe, and it comes from head-on collisions, pretty much. A lot of times, one or the other player is not aware that another player is there to and the rate of speed. You got to understand, these guys are moving pretty fast. These guys are well over 200 pounds. And when you have weight and speed, and then your spine is not built, let's just face it, football is really, it's very archaic. Football, like, the body is not meant to play football. I know it's an American gladiator sport, we get from Rome. I know they try to make it as safe as possible, but I'm sorry, in football, your body is not meant to hit somebody at an average of 15 miles an hour each. Each of you are moving at this speed. Okay, you're moving in between. The fastest man in the world runs 28 miles an hour. These guys are fast as heck. They're not Usain Bolt. But nonetheless, they can get up to 15, 20 miles an hour. Antonio Brown is definitely running in the 20s. 22, in between 22 and 25. Okay, the guy's fast. These guys are going 15 to 20 miles an hour and hitting something coming to a dead stop. And that's each are running at that speed, multiplying the speed. Like I said, I'm not a scientist, but I used to be a football player. And injuries like this are one of the reasons why I stopped playing. It's like I had 2 letters to go, one to Penn State and another one to go to, I think, Slippery Rock. But I turned both of those down because of the injuries. And you have a lot of players who are getting out of football, even professional football, because of the injuries. So I just wanted to talk about this. And, our prayers go out to this man. Like, may the Lord God bless him. And I'm glad to see him actually moving. So I don't think he's permanently hurt. But, yeah, I just wanted to talk about that and just give my 2 cents on it. And thank you guys for stopping by. It's your boy Tone 202. God loves you. Be safe.